Hey, this is my Sister Wives recap. 4 Wives and 2 RVs, Season 5, Episode 5. And what a boring episode. I don't know. I found it boring. Maybe that's just me. Maybe the problem is me. But I didn't find this episode that interesting. I have very sparse notes. This should be a pretty quick recap with the exception of my own input. So the family is going on a trip, Route 66, to Missouri to meet some biblical polygamous family. So I guess because they're polygamous, it's assumed that they're interested in they're polygamous. So they're going to go meet this Christian polygamous family. Anyway, the older kids, like the seniors in high school, and the college kids aren't coming. It's just the younger kids, and they're super bummed. I think Hunter might be the oldest. There's a couple of boys kind of in that age. They all think they're high schoolers, but they're like super bummed about going. It's their spring break. I'm sure that they're at this point thinking like, great, we're on this TV show, and so we have to do stuff for the TV show, so it's like this double resentment. Anyway, before we get to that, we catch up with the Sister Wives Closet funding. They had been told that in 4 to 6 weeks they would get this money. Well, it is now 8 weeks and they still don't have the money from the investors. Now, we don't know anything about the situation. We don't know if they signed a contract. We don't know if they signed a contract, what it said. We don't really know. And I've been involved in some business dealings, and sometimes it's like word of mouth, and they're like, they shake your hand, we have a deal, and then like a week later they're like, never mind, and then they like dodge your phone calls. So, you know, that happens. So anyway, Sister Wives Closet, we're still basically up in the air. We don't know what's happening. Let's get to the actual vacation. They have 2 RVs and an 8-passenger van. They have someone's niece, Mindy, is coming along. We occasionally see her in passing, but plays no part in the story. They keep talking about how it's really up to the teenagers and their attitude and all that. And then the parents spend the whole time having an awful, awful attitude. Mostly what we see is Cody and Christine just really getting on the kids and don't talk back to me. And it's like before this even starts. So they want to leave at 9 and they don't leave until like 10. I don't know why they bother with that many people. It's really going to be tough to do. But Cody keeps talking about how you have to have a good attitude, and then he's like screeching at everyone. I'm like, hey, what a fun vacation. They're already ticked off and all that. Anyway, it's a totally boring trip. They go to Winslow, Arizona, which I guess is in an Eagles song. They meet some guy, they shake his hand. His big thing is that he likes them, and that was it. So we're like, okay. So we keep going. We see Truly's 4th birthday. She's so cute. She is Christine's youngest, and she's like a typical little like, it's my birthday! Yay! I mean, super cute. So they do that, and then they go, and they park, and they eat, and then the next day they park, and Cody screws up hooking up the sewage, and their sewage goes everywhere, and he's like yelling at the boys, and they're like, I swear we checked it this morning. He should have checked himself. Anyway, so he's screaming, and then Robin gets outside and it's cold, and she starts cussing and yelling. It was just sort of like you were going, man, these people are not well equipped for like travel or stress or something. They stop someplace and they get a 72-ounce steak, and it's like either if you finish a steak it's free, if you don't it's like $72, and like 6 of them do it, and I'm like, holy cow. And of course none of them even get close to finishing, and it was like I really thought someone was going to throw up, and I thought if they show someone throwing up, I'm just turning it off. This is so disgusting. And then they're having this prayer, and I guess the prayer just kept going on, and Isabel was goofing off, which is age appropriate behavior. Well, not necessarily appropriate, but it's not unexpected that a 10-year-old girl would be fidgety. And Garrison gets all mad, which is not unexpected behavior for a teenage boy. And Cody makes this big deal about how when you disrespect each other, you disrespect me. And I'm like, really? That's your big like comeback, is that if you do this, you're disrespecting me? I'm like, okay, how about if you disrespect each other, that's wrong. Period. End of story. Anyway, I'm not a parent, so maybe I'm just being too critical, but they have this big thing where Garrison has to go apologize, and I think it's kind of unfair. I think it's kind of unfair that when kids are going through these teenage years that we're filming them, and then we're able to stand around, hey dog, that's my hair, that we're able to like stand around and criticize them. I feel like it's, I don't know. I feel bad for the kids when they get caught in bad behavior and it gets shown on TV because this wasn't an informed decision to be on this TV show that they personally made. It was a decision that their parents made. There's just no way that someone under the age of 18 legally can make that decision. And then of course the show's been going for 5 years, so most of these kids when it was decided to be on the show were not even teenagers. They were preteens or kids. So anyway, I give the kids kind of a universal pass on bad behavior because we all screwed up. So I feel bad that it was caught on TV. Anyway, that was the episode, the whole thing. So hit me up in the comments, tell me what you thought, and I'll talk to you soon.